Hi, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Early Bird. We're going to talk about the two games yesterday right now, and we'll go straight into the East, where reality has hit Leafs fans that were asking to play Florida. We want Florida was the chant, right? Well, folks, you want the Panthers, you got them. Let's take a look at this game. Panthers rally past Maple Leafs in Game 2, extend lead in East second round. Florida hang on to a game that should have slipped out of their fingers. It was all Toronto in the end. 3-2 Florida final. The numbers. Toronto had the edge in shots, 36-29. Look at the face-offs yesterday, 70% to 30. The Panthers are 0 for 1 in the power play. The Leafs are 1 for 3. Panthers had 42 hits, the Leafs had 47. 16 blocks for the Panthers, 7 for the Leafs. 14 giveaways for the Panthers, 18 for the Leafs. Shots on goal. First period, 15-9 in favor of Toronto. Toronto come out flying early, and then 10-9 in favor of Toronto in the second, 11 apiece in the third for that 36-29 final in shots. Scoring. Kerfoot opens it up from Schenn and Riley at 2:20, 1-0 Toronto. Then O'Reilly scores from Marner and Matthews on the power play to make it 2-0 at the 5:10 mark of the first period, and that will be it for Toronto's night in goals. Lundell gets a goal from Reinhart at 11:13 to close out the first, Toronto up 2-1. We go into the second. Barkov from Duclair. Duclair was out there flying too yesterday. At the 19-second mark, makes it 2-2. And then Forsling from Tkachuk and Lundell at the 106 mark. So they get 2 goals inside of 60 seconds. Makes it 3-2 Florida. And that will be it in the second. As you see, third period, no goals scored. Now, Toronto in this game, I'm telling you, Nylander was just... You don't see his name on the score sheet, but Nylander was brilliant out there yesterday, just brilliant. The truth is, their big guns just couldn't get it done again. That is just the truth. I mean, and of course, Bobrovsky was brilliant in nets and had some luck, but he was brilliant in nets. He just was. They just couldn't score. And you know, when a goalie gets in that zone, I don't even think he was in the Leafs' head that way. I just think he was just having so much luck also that, you know, when the goalie's in that zone, the puck seems to stay out of the net no matter what. Toronto's in a big hole now, 2-0. Personally, I don't think they can come back in this series. I just don't. They're going to go back to Florida, and Florida just need a split basically. But if Toronto can get the first one in Florida, next game, we still have a series. They got to get the next game, though. They have to get the next game. If they fall down 3-0 in the series, you know, but it's a tall task now. 3 of the next 4 games are in Florida. Toronto hasn't lost on the road yet. They're due to lose on the road. There's too many things going against them. Florida just continue to win on the road. Toronto continue to lose at home. You can't keep losing at home, Toronto, and advance in the playoffs. You just can't. Eventually, that catches up to you. All right, let's go out west. Pavelski Stars defeat Kraken in Game 2, even Western second round. Recap is Dallas 4, Seattle 2. The numbers, and yes, the better team won in this game. Kraken had 27 shots, the Stars had 37. Look at the faceoffs in this one too, 69% to 31. Kraken 0 for 1 in the power play. The Stars 1 for 3. 45 hits for the Kraken, 32 for the Stars. The blocks, 13 for the Kraken. The Stars had 10. Seattle has 7 giveaways, and Dallas had 16. Shots on goal. 11-5 first period for Dallas. Second period, 19-9 for Dallas. And the third period, they go into a shell basically, 13-7 Seattle. But they put this game, I thought, away pretty easily in the end. All right, scoring. No goals in the first. And then Johnson opens it up from Miller and Domi at the 3:43 mark, and it's 1-0 Dallas. Then Dadonov from Ben and Suter makes it 2-0 at 9:05. And the 2-0 lead is going to hold up when you have a goalie like they have, I thought. And Cartier from Dunn makes it 2-1 2 minutes later at 11:05. But then Pavelski again from Johnson and Seguin on the power play at 16:57, a 3-1 lead going into the third. And then Seguin gets his fifth from Haley and Hintz at 10:50. Sorry, guys, I can't see that. I think it's 10:19, right? Makes it 4-1 for Dallas, basically putting it away at that point. There's half a period left anyway. And Eberle gets one at 16:32 from Gord to round out the scoring 4-2 Dallas final. No surprise Dallas came back. It's no surprise they came back and won this game, really. You know, it's kind of what I expected Toronto to do, to be honest. It's kind of what I expected. So one of the home teams does come back and gets the job done and makes sure that they at least get a split before going into their road games. And that's Dallas. That gets it done yesterday. Dallas looked really good in this game, I thought. I thought they looked a step faster all night long than Seattle did. It's not Seattle played bad, but I think Seattle is really up against it now that it's like, you know, we just knocked off the champs. Are we going to go up 2-0 going home? That's kind of a stretch, you know, that kind of thing. And Dallas were having nothing of it. They were tying up this series. So, folks, the story of the night was Toronto losing again at home. I mean, it just was. Toronto deserved a better fate. They did. But the truth is that, I'll tell you, the best guy in the ice is Matthew Tkachuk. He's just the best guy in the ice when it comes to pressure, when it comes to everything. Although yesterday, I will give props to Nylander. Nylander was amazing yesterday. He was fun to watch. He just was. Nylander, I've never seen him play a game like that and have no points to top it off. You just wouldn't know looking at that. Something I wanted to check, though, before I close up shop here, guys. Nylander, if he's going to continue playing like that, Toronto has a chance to come back because he was that good. He was just that good out there. Wow, like he was flying. Every time he was out there, I was kind of worried Toronto was going to score because I'm pulling for Florida. But I was kind of worried. I was like, my goodness, this guy's flying, you know. I'm just looking at Toronto in hits. Achari had 10 hits in the game, okay? In Florida, Bennett also had 10 hits. Bennett has been a wrecking machine for this team. This is another guy that Calgary gave up on. And Bennett has been great in the playoffs. He really has been. You know, so it's there's a lot we can look at when it's all said and done, right? But it's I am just so impressed with you know, Tkachuk's game just is so rounded out. He gets points, he gets hits, he gets blocks. You seen the save he made with his hand? He just put his hand on it like a goalie and took a chance to get hurt. So we'll see next game, Toronto, and watch what you wish for. Making it public, you're going to kill this team, and you know, and saying things like that. Not all Toronto fans are that lost, but you know, like I if I was a Toronto fan, I would never have been overconfident. This team just beat Boston. They just beat Boston. Like, what do you think you're getting? Like, you're going to get like a freebie to the next round? No, this is the Stanley Cup playoffs, but this is also a very inexperienced fan base when it comes to playoffs, when it comes to their younger kids. They're just so excited. Toronto beat Tampa Bay, who I thought Tampa Bay just looked slow and lethargic. They did last series. And I know they played better than maybe what I'm saying, but they did. They didn't look like the Tampa Bay of old. I was talking to my buddy about this last night. They just didn't look like the old Tampa Bay Lightning before they won the Cup. They look like a team that isn't as hungry anymore to win a championship. They just don't have that hunger like they did once upon a time. And that's normal. That happens to teams. But this Florida team has that eye of the tiger, if you want to call it like the Rocky movie. They have that eye of the tiger, it feels like, this Florida team. This Florida team, if I was to pick what I've seen after so far in the playoffs, I would say that's the team that's going to win the Stanley Cup this year. That's just how it looks. And ironically, they were my pick last year. And as you guys know, I always pick kind of a too far ahead of time who's going to win the Cup. And it's like, you know, I picked Colorado. I picked them right, actually. But I had picked them about 3 years before that to win the Cup. And then it took them years later to do it. So, all right, leave it there, guys. 2 great games yesterday. I can't wait for tonight's game. We only got 1 game today. Edmonton's not playing till Saturday. So we shall see what happens in today's game, right? There's only 1 game, I believe, right? Before I close up, guys, let me just make sure. I'm not giving you bad advice there, but I'm pretty sure I'm right saying that. I'm half awake. Yeah, it is. Okay, I just want to be sure. Yeah, Jersey at Carolina is at 8 o'clock. So that's the only game today. And that's it, folks. Done. I'll see you guys hopefully in some videos tonight. See you then.